Good day everyone, and welcome to our Data Mine Open Pit webinar campaign. My name is Terence Ralebala, a mining engineer from Data Mine South Africa, and I'll be taking you through this webinar about the plot reports on Studio OP. I'm not alone. I'm with Beatrice Sato. She's a mining engineer also from Data Mine South Africa, and she's going to be the co-organizer for this webinar. If you have any questions or any queries, please I'll ask you to write them down, and then we'll attend to those questions after this demonstration or this webinar. This is session 8 of our webinar series, and you will remember that we have covered 7 webinars in the past few months, that we're usually doing them on bi-weekly basis. So I'll quickly take you back to those webinars that we have covered. You will remember that on the first webinar we actually created the ultimate pit, where we were setting up the block model and applied economic parameters in order for us to actually choose the ultimate pit using the best ledge crossman pit. So on the second one, we used that ledge crossman pit and or the ultimate pit that we have obtained from NPVS, and we actually used it to create an ultimate pit from our design on Studio OP. So remember that we showed you how to create the roads automatically. We also showed you how to play around with the switchbacks and also create the surface at the end of the webinar. So after that, we went to webinar 3, where you were actually generating the pushbacks. We actually showed you how to import the ultimate pit, choose the best pushbacks, and we exported that the model straight to the design. So after that, on webinar 4, that's where we looked at sequence generation, and we imported our designs from Studio OP, and then we set the sequences, and we also, the sequence parameters, and then we exported the model to Studio OP for our designs as well. So after that, we actually went to webinar 5, where we showed you how to apply our different evaluation techniques that we have on Studio OP. We looked at a dynamic evaluation, and we evaluated the block model using the strings or the outlines dynamically, and we also looked at evaluating a block model using the wireframes, and then we looked at things like cut and fill as well, the cut and fill technique as well. So on webinar 6, we looked at the reserves ribbon. So here, this is where you actually worked with the reserves workflow, and we also looked at the creation of solids. We created the data sets to be used for the schedule. And during webinar 7, that's where we looked at the long-term scheduling, and we looked at the sequence attributes as well, and we looked at the schedule setup, we scheduled, and then we created the end of period surface. So after that, today we're going to look at webinar 8, and with webinar 8, this is where we're going to look at the plot and report. So basically, this is we are going to look at the different blocks on the different benches, and we're going to use the legend that we created using the period field and the animate field, whereby we would color each and every period, so that you see that this block will be mined on this period basically. So we are going to look at the overlay settings, formatting the page layout, and all those things that will be required for you to visualize your plot nicely or correctly. And then we are going to look at inserting the plot items. We're going to actually print that final result that we have. So in this plots, in this exercise, we're going to try and achieve something like this. So here you'll see, you'll notice that this is the plots window that I have created here, and if I scroll down, you see that my section number and also my section elevation is basically changing. So, and the color by period is basically changing. So this is the top part. If I scroll down, as you go deeper, this is where this is something that you will get. So quickly I will switch to the software, and then we'll work towards achieving this. So what you see here in colors is basically the blocks by period, and what you see here, these are our outlines. So depending on how you have created your outlines, obviously the results will be different. So I'll quickly switch to the software, and this is where everything is going to happen. So okay, I'll quickly switch off my grid here, and I will just be looking at our pit and our outlines. So these outlines are outlines for pushback 1, and these are the outlines that were used to cut the blocks just for pushback 1. And the pit that you see here, if I may rotate, you will notice that this is basically pushback 1 only on this pit. So I'll quickly switch, before I switch to the plots view. This is basically our 3D window, and so you'll notice basically the plots they basically allow you to create any section orientation, and you can send those sections to a printer, and you print that out. You see how we're going to achieve that. And once you have displayed or you have loaded your data here, and this can be viewed in the plots window or for plotting, for example. So when you are here on 3D, if you want to view your plots, you can just come here and under view, and you just go to plot view. So I'll also come here to plots window here as well. So if you don't have the plots window, you can quickly go to show, and this should quickly switch to your plots window. So in this case, okay, I didn't have a plots window here, so I didn't have the so I just created one quickly, and now you can see that I have my outlines here displayed and my wireframe here. So if I expand these overlays, you notice that I have the list of information that has been displayed here. So I'll quickly hide this, and you'll see that I'm only getting my outlines in there. So in this case, I have my outlines for outlines 1. Basically, these are my block cutters, and I can basically change the way I want to change them. I want to view them or visualize them, basically. So in this case, I will start with the page layout, and go to page setup, where I'm going to set up my page. So in this case, I'm happy with the settings that I see here. So if I want to change to A3, but I'll just leave it at A4 for now. And the orientation for me, it's good, looks good when it's at the landscape. So I'll just quickly click OK, and now I would like to look at my grid settings. So with my grid settings, I can actually just come here and double click on my grid, and I get all the settings for my grid. So in this case, I want to have lines on my grid, and what I'm going to do is I'll change the decimal places as well, and I would like not to show the major lines on my grid, and maybe use the tick on that grid of 5, and I want this the position of my annotation to be outside of the grid, and the style I would like it to be perpendicular. So I'm going to the font. I'll just leave it as is now for now, okay, let me just change it to 12, hold, and then okay. And advanced options, I would like to here change my change my suffix. So with that number that's written here on my coordinates, I would like it to add them. I would like to add a meter, and here a meter as well. So I'm just basically saying that it's gonna be this coordinate number, and then meters, and then easting, example, and y will be nothing. And in this Z elevation, I would like to use meters relative level. So I'll apply this and then click OK. So in this case, I'll say I'm happy with what I have here because everything is visible for me. And now I want to quickly look at my scale or my visualizing tools. So I'll go to view, and with the scale, what I like about the Studio P is that I'll just click on fit, and it zooms in everything for me, and you can see that it centers it nicely there. And let's say I didn't like it. I didn't like to put this. I don't want to put this view here. I can just maybe move up, down, for example, left, right, or I can use the cursor as well, just to move it a bit to that side. So, or center, example. So in this case, I'll just go back to fit and let it stay there. So in this case now I'm happy with what I see here, and the scale you can lock as well, just to make sure that you don't change it. And now I'll go look at the data formatting. So I want to quickly format these outlines. So what I'm going to do quickly, I will just double click here, and then I have access to my outlines here, or under manage I can go to my overlays there and then edit it from there. So I will quickly go to, I want to remove my symbols here, and okay, let me just start with the color, and I will change this color to a legend that I've created based on my periods, for example. So what I will do is I'll select that legend, and I call it mining blocks, and I'll quickly select the column, which is I used animate. So if I apply, okay, I need to fill this, for example. Before I apply, before I fill it, I'll just quickly apply, and then you just see the changes. So I want to now fill it with the by color actually of my, remember I have periods like January, I'm gonna have this color, February I'm going to have this color, and so on and so on. So I will apply this. So you can see that it's filled, and I want to remove these symbols here, and I'll just make my symbols to be 0 and apply. So I have something that's cutting nicely there, but I want to indicate, I want a line, for example, that's gonna show that this is where I'm cutting my block, For example, like here I have maybe a lot of blocks that are here, but now I only see one. I only see this color, which is the period. I don't see the blocks, for example. So I'll quickly go back and load my outline here. And in this case, I have two outlines that I've saved here, and you can see that it's adding the other pushbacks. So I'll quickly filter these outlines using phase. So if I go to phase, I want to show just phase 1. So if I go back to my plots, you see that it's filtered nicely there. I only have pushback 1 because I'm working on pushback 1 only. So I want to quickly edit this outline here. So this outlines, I'm going to look at the line, at the color as well, and I'm going to make this color black, and I want this line to be fixed, and I'll use the width of 3, for example. So I'm going to, okay, and the symbols as well, I would like them to, I don't want to show them there, so I will apply, and you can see that now Studio P is cutting my blocks nicely, and I can see where my blocks are and all that. So remember, this is still on the 3D view, so I mean it's still showing all the blocks that I have. So we want to cut this nicely on the using the bench by bench actually. So now I'm happy with what I see here. I want to quickly go to inserting my plot items. So I will go insert my title box. So with my title box, I'm going to insert, okay, you can see that my title box, I have like 3 rows, and under row 1 I have like 1 cell, under row 2 I have like 1 cell as well, and then row 3 I have like 3 cells. So I would like to have 3 cells on row 1. So I'll just click on row 1, and I'll go insert, and I want to insert a symbol here. So I just want to show a track, and with this color here, the symbol I'm going to select is a track. So if and the size, I think the size is okay, maybe I can increase it a bit and make it 15, and then I apply. So after applying, you can see that it's displayed there, and I will click OK, and now I will adjust the size of the cells. It's fine, and I will quickly add another cell, and this cell I'm going to use later as we go. So I won't write anything, I won't do anything on it, so I will just say finish. So I'll quickly apply, or okay, I will just go to time here. I want to remove this time here and put maybe the elevation. So what I'm going to do is I will go straight to row 3, and then I'll go to cell 3. So here I want to change the content there. So in this case I want a section elevation, and so it shows me the elevation there, and then I'll apply this and click OK. So when I'm done doing this, I can actually also play around with the frame properties and the whole frame properties, and I can come here and change the font, for example, make it bold, and then apply this. So you can see everything here, it's getting more visible. So I'll say apply in this case. I'm happy with what I see right now. So if I apply, okay, and I'm going to edit this, maybe reduce this size here, and bring this guy back as well. And now I'm left with plan projection. I can see it nicely there now. So depending on what you want to write on your title box, so now I can just drag it and put it here, this corner here, and if I want to make it bigger, I can do that. And now I want to quickly insert a picture or an image. So I'll go back to my plot items, and I'll quickly go to image, and I'll select the image that I have for this webinar. So quickly insert that, and I can do the changes that I want on this picture here. So in this case, I'll just click OK, and I just wanna drag it and drop it here, and play around with the size of it, of this picture, basically. So I'm happy with this, what I see here, and I'll leave it as is. Now I want to look at my scale bar, for example. So I'll just come here and look at my scale bar, and I can do all the changes here. For example, let me make the width of this 20, and then I finish. So I can just drag it again and drop it there. But this is not really necessary, because I have this scale here written here. So now I want to edit my north point, and I can just double click on it and change. I don't like that symbol, for example, and then I will just select that, and here I can change the label size and the size of this arrow. I think I'm happy with it, and I'll apply this. So quickly move it a bit, and that for me looks nice for now. And I'll quickly go and insert the legend, and my legend is the one that I use to fill these blocks, or this yes, these blocks with. So I'm going to insert the legend quickly here. So here with the legend, I'll select my legend here, and apply that. So I can quickly change okay, I can quickly change the font to 12, for example. Let me make it bold, and then okay, and I can draw lines just to, and then I apply, just to separate my periods there. So I'll say okay, and I can see that it's covering my north point here. So I'll quickly drag it down like that, and there we are. And this is what I wanted to achieve. So I'll just move it up a bit, and for me it looks nice, and this is what I wanted to achieve. So let's say maybe I want to create, I'll say let me just create a text box here on top, and this text box, maybe I can call it webinar I'll use the 08 plan or plots. Okay, and then I'll say finish. Okay, I can change the font, for example, and make it and bold. So finish. so it's displayed there. And can quickly expand this, make it bigger. Okay, so now let me just play around with the alignment of this. I want it to be in the center and middle. Apply, and go back to color, make it black. I would like to opaque, and then maybe make it 14, and then I apply. Okay, so I'll quickly drag this down, and now I have something like that. So I think I'm happy with what I see here. So now I'll need to just play around with the order, because you can see that my overlays are basically on top of my my grid. So if I come here on overlays, I can just change the drawing order there, and now I want to move my plots up. I want to move my plots up to be on top of this grid. So I can use this arrow. I can use this arrow to move it up and down. And now I have this guy here. Yes, and I apply. So I have something like that. So I'm happy with what I see here. I think I'm happy with what I see here. You can change the order the way you want to change it here on this plots window. And now I can apply this, and then okay. So now I want to look at the section definition. So the section definition is basically a file or a table file that contains my sections. So I've created that, and I have all the levels that covers all these bench levels that I have here on this outline, or this plot. Okay, so I'll quickly go to view, and I'll load my section definition file, and it's a data mine file, and that was okay. So my section definition file is here, and I'll apply it. Okay, and now I want to use my section definition file, so I'm using it. You see now it's cutting my my sections now by bench. So if I move to the next one, just like that, so now you can see that it's hidden. Let's say for example, let me not clip, and then I just center it or move using the cursor, and then I move it this side, and then again just want it to move a bit. Yes, so I'm happy with this, and now I want to move from one section to another. Okay, so I'll just quickly change the scale. Yes, so I'll just change the scale and use this one of 6,000 for example, and if I can just quickly set it to just make it 6,000. So I'll apply. So now I want to move to the next section just like that, so I'm getting something like that. So I'm happy now with this view, and now I've created my section definition file and all that. So what I need to, there's also a template that you can use to, you can store your information on your template. So basically a template is just an efficient way of introducing standard content to your plot, and they basically use it to minimize the amount of work required on generating the framework, like the layout that you have for your plots. You can store information on that template, for example. So now we're quickly going to go to manage, and under manage we are going to save this template here, and I will call it I'll quickly save it on this webinar, and I'll quickly call it webinar 8 template, or I can just leave it as section level 13 to 2. So I'll save this, and now we want to print this. This plot that we have created. But now after printing it, we're going to apply the template, just to show you how the template can be applied. So here this is where I can print, and after that I'll just select the Microsoft Print to Microsoft Print to PDF, and I want to print all the pages. So I'll quickly click OK, and it wants me to save now, so I'm going to save this as a webinar. Webinar 8 plots. Okay, and then I'm saving this. So after saving it, I'll quickly check it on the folder where I've saved it. So if I scroll down, up and down, you see that my plots are actually saved here. So, and the elevations are changing just like that. So I'm happy with this, and now I'll quickly close this, and okay, I'll close all the tabs, and now I want to show you how to apply the template that we have saved there. So say I have another view of the plots, and okay, let me just quickly create a plan view. So I will have something like this. So here I can quickly apply that template that I've saved on this folder here. So I've saved it as section level 13 to 2. So I want to open this and apply it on my current view right now. So I'll say quickly apply that, and as you can see, this is what I have right now. So all I need is just to load again my section definition, or actually create my own section definition for this. So this basically marks the end of our webinar, and if you have questions, now we can start to take the questions. Thank you for attending and your cooperation, and I would like to actually ask you to join us when we do other webinars as well. You can check on our website and check the next webinars that are coming up. So I'll quickly share these contacts. If you have any questions or any doubts, you can just contact us, and thank you very much for attending again.